Welcome back. You know
Are
what
you
it's time
kidding
for.
me?
Are you
you kidding
kidding
me?
me?
And I'm Tawnya Rush.
I'm Maria Serrao, and we're here
I
to just discuss some stuff that,
yeah,
you're all thinking about, and it happens to you every day.
exactly.
Every
First,
day.
let's just kick things off. Okay, I have to say this as
Okay.
we grow our audience and people get to know us.
Yes.
Maria and I are the kindest, most sensitive, will give and give and give to people, to strangers. We welcome everybody. We problem solve. We have solutions.
Yes.
So I don't want our viewers to think that we are
Crazy?
crazy, but it's conversation. I just want everybody to know that
It's
because
conversation, and
it is.
it's conversation that people have every single day, and things
Right.
they think about, and then they think, does anybody else feel like this? And it's like,
Yes.
yes, we all feel like this, but we're just vocalizing it.
We are. So just so you know.
Yeah,
Anyway,
we'll have
okay.
and sometimes it's funny things, sometimes it's stupid things, sometimes it's just things, and sometimes it's annoying things. So
I'm going to kick things off with hair.
let's
I
do
can't
it.
look at this hot mess.
Okay, listen.
What?
I would like to know how come you go to get your hair cut, and it's like it looks fantastic. You get home, and I spend a lot of time on my hair. I admit it.
I
But
know.
for like a week and a half, it's just it takes forever to just have it look like something. And then every time you pass the mirror, you're like, why is this piece sticking out? And
why
does it take like time for your hair to settle?
why is that? Because that's why you get the trim or the highlight.
I don't
right?
know. The highlight
know
never
either.
bothers me. It's always the cut. And
Yeah, I've known you for 30 years, girl.
and I will
You
admit,
will sit there with this brush.
yeah, I have the big brush, and I do have my own pair of professional scissors.
She does. You guys, time out.
Because
If she hates her bangs or how it lays on
I
the
have to cut my
side,
bangs every other day.
she literally snip, and then, oh, I need a little there. I've been there. I've witnessed it. You
I have
can't
to
make
have
that
them all the
stuff up.
time.
Are you kidding me?
Are you kidding me? It's just the way it is. I even, my hairdresser who I love, I told him a long time ago, I said, look, I'm going to be really straight up honest with you.
Right.
I cut my own hair.
I know you do.
And he was just like, I'm totally cool with that. Don't worry. I'm not going to, I go, sometimes you'll fix it. Like sometimes I'll make a mistake, and I have, but
Right.
I just told him,
there you go.
It is what it is. What can you do?
And then there's me who I can't seem to find a new hairdresser. It's really hard. I don't know. Don't ask me why.
It's so hard.
I need you to really layer. I need chunks. I need to rat and layer. What is this?
That's a problem. I don't know why it's a problem.
But
a lot of hairdressers don't want to layer.
Like, I don't know. Anyway.
And if you dare say that you want your hair like the 80s, they completely freak out. Like, do not bother. Like, I'm like, I want my, oh yeah. I mean, I do have some layers, but not really. I mean, not really, not in the 80s layers.
But just like
layers.
Oh gosh. All right. Anyway,
okay.
Here we go.
Well, you know what? Sometimes you're just having a bad hair day too. Like that can just be your whole point of reference. Like, I'm having a bad hair day. And so then have you ever had a bad hair day and then somebody walks up to you and says, wow, your hair looks really good. And I just think, I am crazy. There's something seriously wrong with me. I have, yeah.
That's all right. By the end of the day, it's either a piggy tail or I start clipping.
Always yes. And by the end of the day, it's always a pony or
it's always up. So why do I get my hair cut?
Right. Or a banana clip.
Oh yeah, Marie has banana clips. BTW.
I almost started out my day like what you're doing right now. I was like, maybe I should just put it up, and I'm like, no, don't do that right now. Look how cute your hair looks like that.
Yes, there we go.
I love it.
Okay.
All right. Okay, we've already obsessed about our hair enough for today. So we have a really interesting topic. It's newsworthy. It's about cell phones in classrooms. And let me just start by telling you that several years ago, I had read an article that said that, just you take a guess, what the average age a kid gets his first or her first cell phone is.
I'd say nowadays 8.
Okay.
Stop it.
This was probably 8 or 9 years ago. It was 6. And
6?
6 years old. And I was like, and I had one of my interns that was in the studio with me, and I said, she was in high school, and I said to her, how many kids in high school in your school have cell phones? And she looked at me and she goes, all of them. I was like, really? She's like, yeah, all of them have cell phones. So I went to the high schools and I did a story about cell phones in the classroom. And I was shocked. I was just shocked over the whole entire thing because when I interviewed the principal, she told me that she encouraged it and she wanted to have chargers installed in the school. Yes. And I was like, isn't this like completely distracting? I was shocked.
Really?
Yes.
See, that to
Okay.
me is
But now
ridiculous.
you were talking about the fact that, you know, now some of the schools are saying maybe we don't want them in the classroom.
Right. And I think a lot of that is, well, you and I didn't. My mom found me. I was tracked down. People found me. She knew where I was. We had no cell
We had no
phones.
phones.
I had rotary dial. I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
I couldn't wait. Exactly.
Yeah.
So kids, they need to be turned off. And I think
Yes.
that's way too young. You should be able to keep track of your kids at that age until they get closer to teen, right? Sports and stuff. Once again, we didn't have it. But in the classroom, do you think it's because of how over the years there's been awful tragedies that have happened and
Yes.
parents want to know you're right there?
Parents are also deathly afraid that parents I have talked to, they're deathly afraid about their kids getting stolen or kidnapped. And that's always their first thing. Like they have to be able to get a hold of me. I mean, my mom used to drop me off at the bowling alley with my friends and say, well, make sure you save a dime so you can call me for a ride home. I mean,
Right.
like we didn't think about any of this. And so, but here's my question to you is, and this is straight up honesty. I have had my friends that have kids in schools. They'll call them in the middle of the day. And I was with one of my friends once and I go, why are you calling her right now? Like she's in school. And she's like, that's okay.
That's not okay.
It's not okay. So
No.
now, how are they going to, if they decide, okay, this is too distracting or the kids aren't learning or whatever, how are you going to, you just asked, are we going to, they're going to collect the phones? How are they going to do this?
Well, I know some schools that do collect, especially the younger kids, because they don't need them. Or
Right.
you keep them at your desk. They have to stay in pockets. They have to be on silent if parents are concerned about that, because you're going to get kickback from parents saying, okay, then if this happens X, Y, and Z, and I don't know, and you
Right.
don't allow this,
Yeah.
but it should never be on the table. It should never be on the desk.
But you know what they do? You know what they're going to do if they have them in their lap phone? They're going to be like this.
But it has to be off. And I think there should be, as soon as you see that from a kid,
it's going to be like in the car. Except it's going to be in a classroom where kids are just going to be like.
But then what you say is, hey, Maria, do you need to take a phone call? I think you just have to call them out. But then, God forbid.
Could you imagine if they said, do you need to take a phone call? And it's your mom saying, hey, we're going to dinner tonight with your dad and blah, blah, blah. Like, what do you have to get some kind of semblance of what's super important and what's not, because I see parents that text their kids all day. They're constantly talking to them on the phone. And it's like, you know what? Let your kids be kids. I get your paranoia about, and I don't mean to be flip about that, but honestly, I lived a whole life and you lived a whole life without cell phones. So,
and I don't want to be tracked. There are parents that go as far as these GPS trackers.
Oh yeah.
It's cool. I could not imagine that at all.
Or they have my entire family, my brother's wife, his kids, all of them they're all on this group thing where they can find each other. They know where they're at. And when I was home at Christmas, my brother goes, oh, do you want to be put on this? And I was like, are you kidding me?
Are you kidding me?
I was like, no, I don't want you to know where I am.
Well, I think it's gotten out of control. I mean,
do too.
There are watches now that you can do a parental control and it's only to text. I think that's
they don't do that. They don't, and you know what? I've even asked parents, I'm like, okay, so your kid has a phone because you're worried about, they can't reach
XYZ.
So why do they have internet on their phone then?
Well, then there's the other thing to me too, is there's a lot of cheating. I mean, Google and right? That's
Don't
not
we have
right.
like, at least in California, I think we have the lowest test scores in the country for
Well, then
kids
there's a
with-
conversation of the education part of it, but you
Yes.
can't, if it comes out and you need to take a phone call, you raise your hand, you do it. It's always in your backpack or your pocket. You come in, you're abusing it. Then what I
Yeah.
would do is I have a conversation with the parent and say, we got to keep cell phones here.
So are they going to actually do this? I mean, they've been talking about this in California for a while.
I know. And I brought this up too, because here in Billings, it came up on a local radio station about that was going to be a conversation coming up. I didn't get to listen to it, but it's everywhere now. And it was speaking about nationally. Okay. If I can make one federal law, this is what I would make. 3 strikes with your kids and you're out.
You're
And
out of the
here's why.
restaurant.
And it's not the kids, it's the parents.
This is the
Go to
hill
a
you're going to
restaurant.
die on, huh?
What? Oh my gosh.
This
What'd
is
you-
the hill that Tanya's going to die on. She's going to go to Congress and say, look,
Federal law.
here's the deal.
3 strikes, you're out.
If your kids are bad 3 times in a restaurant, they're not allowed to go back there
No,
anymore.
I understand kids upset, kids will fall. It's, it's whatever it may be, but,
Okay, tell me what happened.
okay. So wait, my phone's going crazy. See, I need to put
See,
down my cell phone.
It hears us. That's a whole other, are you kidding me?
Gosh. Okay. So, at a restaurant, there's a group of parents. I think they're a total of 4. They were
Okay.
there for a celebration for a birthday. There were kids they were probably 4 to 5 of the kids. They were ages 7 to 10. They should be well behaved. Maria, they were loud. They were rude. The parents sat there and laughed at them.
Oh my God.
The parents, it gets worse. I felt so bad for the waitress who was waiting on them. They left. It disrupted the whole restaurant. They left that table. They had crumbs everywhere.
Oh yeah.
They had food under the table, and left straws. Like, I looked at her, I'm like, do you need help? Which she can't, I can't do, but she's like, I got it. Why?
I don't know why people
They
are
knew
like
how
that.
to act better. They were
It's-
between the ages of 7 and 10.
Because
They ran the show.
they run the show.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's
the
not the
parents-
kids' fault.
For whatever reason, like pretend like it's not happening.
And why do I have to ask to leave to a different table?
Did you?
Yes. I said, I got to move away. I'm sorry, but I can't sit right next to them.
That is,
I
see,
in the quiet.
that's
but
bad.
It was bad, girl. And I felt so bad for the waitress.
That is, you know what? That only happened to me. I mean, really bad, like that one time where I went to meet a girlfriend at the California Pizza Kitchen, and there was a group of kids and parents. I don't know if it or like after a birthday party or something, but it was so bad I couldn't even hear my friend. We couldn't even have a conversation, and they gave us a free meal because but it was so incredibly bad that I thought to myself, why are you letting your kids crawl up on the like, the seating, the bench
and underneath the table?
Yeah, and just being, my mom would have been like, oh no, 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 no.
I was raised when we would get to go out.
Oh yeah, you have manners.
My mom, we had to wear a dress.
Yeah.
And I remember my good grandma, she was the matriarch at the time, and it was proper. It was, you did not
Everything.
shout at a table. You did not run around the restaurant.
No, and remember when they finally gave us like crayons and stuff to write on? I loved that. That kept me busy.
Yeah.
But now it's like the kids, you can't even just distract them with that. They're just climbing up the walls, and it's ridiculous.
I mean, and it was even limited. Like, I remember I wanted to order a Shirley Temple, and my great grandma would say, back then it was 75 cents. But she goes, now, if you're going to get that, you're going to drink all of it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Just basic stuff. But anyway, so I'm not done yet. I was in church. This is a time for me to be quiet down.
You had a whole weekend.
Hold my thoughts. I swear I attract all the things that I don't need to be attracted to. So I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, okay, so far so good. No, it's quiet. 5 minutes before church starts, I have a family come in. They have a 2-year-old and they have a 4-year-old. The mom, brought Tonka trunks that the kid was running across the pew.
Okay.
Loud. She actually picked this kid up, set him on top of the bench, like behind me, so there's that rail, sat him up, take him down. He'd play with his trucks the whole time during church. There's a section back there that says for parents and for crying kids.
Yes, they have a crying room.
Maria, so I'm hearing this back and forth. She's picking him up, laughing. Who does that? Are you kidding me?
Are you kidding me? It's just rude and it's inconsiderate. If your kids are good, I don't care. Let them sit there.
Care.
But if they're not and they're having an issue, just go to the room. Why
If you're
wouldn't
going to
you?
be a lazy parent, you don't need to affect other people. You know what to do. When
Yeah.
you see kids, they act out. They're kids. They push it. That's their
Right, and
job.
it's their job. But
Yeah.
do you ever notice when the kid is having a meltdown, the parent will be like,
Yeah, they just leave them.
they just don't, they pretend like it's not happening. It's like, you're the parent.
And I feel bad for the kid.
Yeah,
Like,
because then they're gonna grow up and they're gonna be a
ugh. So that's restaurant where 3 strikes. That table would have been, the owner would have
Yeah.
come over and said, you either need to, you're upsetting other
It's
clients.
just incredibly rude.
3 strikes, you're out. See ya. Here's your bill.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Or
so-
can we give that to go because you're really, disruptive to everyone else.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, remember, you can watch us on our YouTube channel, Are You Kidding Me 2025. You can catch us on Instagram
And rukm2025@gmail.com.
that's right. So email us or just watch us. And thanks for tuning in today. We appreciate
Yeah,
it.
thank you. And give us your reactions because we'd love to discuss other people because maybe we are just crazy.
Well, we are, but I'm sure all of you have experienced all of these things at some point. So just chime in with us. We love it.
And on that note, have a great day.
You do the same.
Be patient with
Chat with you
everything.
soon.
And I'll talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Toodles.